Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love is Blind, Season 6, Episode 11.
Listen, we did episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this one is in our playlist. Make sure you go back to like it, watch it, share it, comment, all the above. We are so close to 1,000. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
We are still at the lake house. Sarah Ann and Alejandra arrive.
Yeah.
Laura is shocked that Sarah Ann had the audacity to come.
Yeah.
Trevor pulls Chelsea for a chat, and apparently he followed her on social media as soon as he got his phone.
Okay.
Chelsea tells Trevor that he is her type, and her decision doesn't make sense to Trevor. He asks, if I would have went first, would you have said yes to me? And Chelsea tells him no.
She's a liar.
He was her number one up until the last day. Why was that? Because Jimmy went first.
Exactly. Come on now.
She apologizes. She cares about him. She loved him, and she still does, and thinks he's amazing. She thinks life would be fun and easy with him. He says he's not an arguer, and he doesn't think couples should go at each other's throats. And Chelsea admits that she was drunk the night before and got into an argument and gave a horrible delivery. It's been hard for her not to think of Trevor. They both still have their touch bracelets. Jimmy says hi to them and kind of breaks up the conversation. Chelsea says to Trevor, have you met our strongest couple? Pointing to Johnny and Amy. Jimmy doesn't like that, and she says she was just being goofy. It was just a joke, and she said that she would never say that out loud to Trevor if she was serious. Even if you're not serious, don't say that to somebody who, number one, is still trying to see if they can get with you. So you're creating like a little crack in the door to let him know, we had an argument yesterday, we ain't that strong, and I still got my love bracelet. That was more of an open door conversation than what Jimmy and Jessica had. Jimmy and Jessica felt like closure. For me, it felt like it was kind of like closure, but at the same time, you were trying to let him know if things go south, you'd be the first one I'm gonna call.
What did I tell you? I said you gotta be careful of people like Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because of her insecurity, she will go and sleep with somebody else and blame it on you. You get what I'm saying? Chelsea's a clown. She's goofy. She said it herself. I don't like the characteristics of Chelsea. I don't like anything about Chelsea. Let's move on.
Jeremy and Laura.
Yeah.
Jeremy confronts her about the rude responses to the text messages. He was trying to work through the issues. He was trying to get her address to send her flowers. And she is so annoyed. She tells him to bring up the text. I need you to stop flipping things around on me. She felt that she was being polite and declining to give her address. She tells him that, I've been my authentic self this whole time, and you are a con artist. You have feelings for Sarah, and you can't be a man and communicate that you do. She doesn't believe he came with the best intentions, and she's going to go and get the rest of her stuff. He says he already has it packed up.
Wow.
As far as Laura's concerned, he made his decision a week ago when he went out with Sarah Ann, and he's asking that they put their tension aside for today. Laura is pretty much like, F whatever you're talking about. We got beef till the end of time. She says, your engagement just ended and you're more concerned about having a fun day today. What is wrong with you? She tells him that he's not a man, he's a narcissist, and he needs to kick rocks with open-toed shoes.
Even how Jeremy was sitting there, he looked like a con artist. He just sit there, he just looked like crazy.
Yeah.
For one, I have no evidence to believe anything that you say, Jeremy. Because the fact that you talking about, hey, I want to talk about how rude you've been, and why would I want to be nice to somebody who's rude? First of all, let's talk about the cause before we talk about the effects. You was out to 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning with some other woman. Period.
Yeah.
Any response you get from me, you should see it as a good response, because I don't have to talk to you no more. And don't try to say you try to come over here or you try to mend the bridges and stuff like that where you wearing that Hawaiian shirt knowing I hate Hawaiian shirts. He came there ready to fight, ready to basically be passive aggressive, and that's what he was. Because all the other times outside of him being on vacation, he did not wear a Hawaiian shirt.
It was intentional. And he said it when he walked in.
So that's what I'm saying. He said, I'm here for war, basically. So I'm like, you're a clown. You're a con artist. That's the best way to put it. And you're a con artist because you make me like Laura. And I didn't want to like Laura because of what the bean dip with our black women on Black History Month and things like that. But now you're making me on Laura's side, and I will never forgive you, Jeremy.
Yeah, I still don't like Laura. But at the same time, I appreciated how she handled the situation. You don't get to go and do whatever you want to do and expect me to be calm and happy and nice.
Facts.
You don't get to control my response to the fact that not only were we together, but we were engaged to be married. Like, I was really trying to build a life with you. It's not like some boyfriend-girlfriend situation. I was taking you serious. And the fact that apparently he wasn't taking her serious, according to her.
Yeah.
Well, AD and Sarah Ann have a conversation.
Yeah.
She tells Sarah Ann, I saw the DM, And you don't think it's outlandish to tell a man who just got engaged that you'd be open if the door is still open?
Mm-hmm.
80 asks if he left the door open for her, and pretty much what did he say or what did he do to make you think it was okay to send a message like that?
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah Ann says, yes, from her perspective, the door was open. It's been the way he made her feel and the way that he broke up with her. She didn't ask him if he was sure, and she felt like she knew him enough to the where she should have asked him if he was sure. She felt like if she would have fought for it, he may have changed his mind. And last weekend, they were out drinking. They had conversation. It was closer. He dropped her off. They didn't cross the line. She told him that he needs to figure things out with Laura. Jeremy told Sarah Ann that he was going to break everything with Laura. 80 tells Sarah that she thinks it's crazy that you sent that message. And you knew he was engaged when you sent the message. And he didn't choose you. Sarah Ann feels that her feelings deserve to be heard and acknowledged. 80 thinks it's weird. Sarah Ann thinks she did nothing wrong and it lacked class.
What did you think of the scene, Blair?
Yeah, I was totally on AD's side. At the same time, I wouldn't have approached Sarah Ann about it because not my business. But for the show's sake, I'm glad she approached it, and Sarah Ann was actually called to answer for herself. And yeah, she was being a homewrecker. That's all I have to say about it. She considered her feelings more important than the fact that they were engaged. She felt that her feelings needed to be heard and voiced, and he needed to address that, even though they had their final conversation in the pods. So absolutely, I think that Sarah Ann was being ridiculous.
Yeah. The reason why I don't agree with AD at all in this scene is at the end of the day, Sarah Ann got every right and every freedom to send whatever she want to send to Jeremy's DM.
Yeah, it's up to Jeremy.
It's up to Jeremy to deflect it.
Yeah.
You can't look at Sarah like, why would you do that? Well, why would Jeremy go talk to her till 5:30 in the morning? She can send whatever she want to send. You get what I'm saying? And to your point, you're 100% right. She did not take into she didn't take in the fact that he didn't choose me, and she put her feelings over the fact that he's engaged, but he entertained it.
Yeah.
So how can she not go off of her feelings when everything that she's doing, Jeremy supports it in some way, like by even going to talk to her, going to meet up with her, talking to her to 5 o'clock in the morning and things like that, hearting the message.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? He can lie to me, as Laura called him a con artist, and said, well, I just double tapped it and it made a heart. Okay, you didn't have to respond to it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, AD, I don't know what you're doing. You basically, I hate when people put themselves in positions of like authority. Like Sarah Ann don't have to answer to you. And like you talking to her and you getting up in the middle of her sentence, I understand like you don't like her and things of that nature. But my thing is, look, at the end of the day, it is Jeremy's responsibility to protect his relationship and to uplift it. And if he's over there telling Sarah Ann, I'm going to break things off with Laura anyway, so it's all good. It's like, okay, who is Sarah to be like, well, I knew like in my gut that it was going to happen because based on how he'd been responding to me. Okay. So, it's the guy's responsibility or whoever's in a relationship to protect the relationship.
Right. Well, Sarah Ann and Jeremy talk. She's pretty upset, and she is saying that her intentions were never to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
She's not going to be interrogated by women who should be worried about their own relationships. Jeremy didn't think that the message was bad, and she sent the message because of what she felt. Jeremy agrees with her 100%. She doesn't want to be painted out to be some floozy who goes after married men. Well. And the reality to Sarah Ann is that things can be messy, and she needed to say what she needed to say for herself. And Jeremy said that he made the wrong decision in the pods, and they both go ride jet skis together.
Listen here, Jeremy is just he's passive aggressive.
Jeremy's just trying to get some butt now. Yeah. I mean,
I don't even know.
He said whatever just to get up in Sarah Ann's lady parts.
Listen here, and Sarah Ann said she swear on everybody that they did not cross the line. Well, that day y'all probably didn't, but the foundation was set down. There's nothing to talk about at 5 o'clock in the morning. Literally nothing. In this conversation, I thought it was a little dig at AD when she said she's worried about her relationship, and I'm like, that's kind of true. You do need to worry about your own relationship, yeah. AD. Stay out of people's business. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Jeremy is who he is. Sarah Ann who she is. Maybe they're right for each other. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Well, Laura said you talking trash.
Yeah.
Saying that, what's his name? Jeremy is not deserving of attention. He made a commitment to her. She starts crying.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to protect her heart, and he did not.
That's true.
Yeah. And Jeremy thinks it's time for everyone to just move on with their lives. If he's not going to be given any grace or understanding, then what is he fighting for?
I love when people use that word grace and understanding. What part of you being home at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, should I give grace to that for?
Yeah.
You didn't even apologize, really.
You really didn't apologize.
No.
You really didn't. Chelsea and Jimmy.
Yeah.
They want an ice sculpture done for their wedding, so they meet up with a sculptor, they create it together, and they both feel really good about each other and their upcoming wedding.
I don't feel good about your wedding.
AD and Clay, they are painting sneakers for the wedding. Amy and Johnny. Amy wants pictures of her grandparents at the wedding. Culturally, she would hyphenate her name, and she asked Johnny how he feels about it, and he feels fine, but they both agree that for the kids, they should have his last name.
Yeah.
He's not down for vasectomy. He looked up all the different options for men as far as birth control, and vasectomy is not going to be an option for him.
No, it's not.
Because it's not 100% chance that the reversal will be successful.
That's kind of crazy to even consider that.
And he doesn't want to take any type of trial contraceptive pills because they're not 100% vetted. She says that she's not opposed to taking birth control. She will consider it. And I think she also talked about how she had like really bad cramps and things like that. So it would be beneficial for her in some ways to be on the pill.
I know this may seem kind of rude, but I think I'm on Blair's side. Blair said it a couple episodes ago. She said, girl, get on birth control. And I understand it's a woman's body, it's her choice and things of that nature. But I think it's even crazier to suggest that he get a vasectomy.
Yeah.
When y'all ain't got no kids. And then be like, yeah, just go get that reversed. I'd rather you say use condoms than say like get a vasectomy. That is crazy.
Exactly.
For you to be like, hey, for us to prevent any like birth or anything like that, you should get a vasectomy, and then when it's time for us to get a baby, you should just get a reverse. What? like nobody does that. That's weird.
Right. Well, the ladies go for their bridal fitting.
Yeah.
Vanessa Lachey is there. The guys go for their fitting. Nick is there. They kind of just go around, talk to the families and friends, and everyone is super excited for them. People are tearful, all the gushy stuff.
The guys wasn't that excited to see Nick. Nick was like, okay, bring it in. Like, the girls see Vanessa. They're like, oh my God, you know.
Yeah. Couple things that stood out for me during the wedding dress things was, one, Chelsea didn't go wedding dress shopping for her first wedding. She got her dress off eBay. So for her, this is really special for her to have this moment with her sister and her best friend.
I hope it ends bad for you, Chelsea. Yeah.
AD, she tried on a couple of dresses. The second dress, they think that she's going to go with. And honestly, I did not like it. And maybe I'm just an old lady, but I don't think a wedding dress should be overly sexy. I just don't.
Listen here. I got to sneeze. I got something to say, but I got to sneeze.
Okay, sneeze.
Well, it doesn't work that way.
Oh, sorry.
But, you know, your body got to tell you. Listen, I said something last episode that stuck out to me about AD. I said, I asked Blair. I said, Blair, do you think AD is beautiful? And you said,
yes.
And then I asked the question of, do you think AD thinks she's beautiful? And you said, yes.
Yeah.
I said, I don't think she thinks she's beautiful. I think she leads with her sexuality, not in a way. Now, listen to me, guys. Listen to me. There's people that lead with their sexuality because they want to attract a certain type of guy or something like that. I'm not saying she leads with her sexuality because she's easy and she's quick and she's like, you know what I mean? She's that type of woman and things like that. I think she leads with her sexuality because she's insecure about how she looks.
Or even I would say maybe she leads with her body because she knows that that's the most attractive thing about her to men. Maybe that's what she thinks men will want.
Maybe, yeah.
Because when she was saying that the way that Clay like ran to her in the pause, like when he looked at her and all this type of stuff, like she wants him to have the same reaction at the wedding. And I'm like, he can't have that reaction without your leg out and your chest out and
your booty poking.
And your booty poking. Like, and honestly, I mean, all that aside, you wear whatever you want at your wedding.
Yeah, okay, we don't know nothing.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, personally, I'm just not a fan of wedding dresses being so sexy.
Grandma. Okay, Grandma.
I'm just like,
have some proof about you.
I'm just like, I would prefer just to be like a classic timeless look.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just an old lady.
Maybe. But no, but I felt the same way you felt. I felt like she cried a little bit too much in the wedding dress. Okay. But then again, I never seen women try on wedding dresses before. Yeah. And I don't know what be going on in that dressing room with y'all crying or not crying and things of that nature. But I'm like, I think this is going to sound kind of crazy. I don't think she thinks that she is beautiful. I think she's beautiful. You think she's beautiful. But I think there is some type of like, okay, let me like enhance it. Let me make sure, take the top off, the yitties out, leg out. Okay, now I'm sexy. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Uh-huh. And I only felt that way when she kept talking about Clay being handsome and gorgeous. Right. She said he's a looker, and I'm like, she's projecting. She's projecting some insecurity that I think she may have felt within herself. And granted, back in the day, I don't know how old AD is. I might be older than her.
Like 30, 31, something
okay,
like that.
But back in the day, dark-skinned women wasn't in. So I don't know what type of trauma growing up with dark-skinned women and things like that, to where the social society acceptance of it wasn't as open as it is now, to where it's like, oh, dark-skinned women is in. Dark-skinned women is it. Compared back in the day, you got all those type of jokes, mean and stuff like that. So that's what I think. I think she leads with her sexuality, not because she want to be quick and want to be on the streets and things like that. I think that is her saving grace to her mind of like, oh, I'm beautiful because I'm going to show this. Okay. And things like that.
Well, after everyone tries everything on, we go see AD and Clay. Yeah. Clay takes AD on a date.
Finally.
The wedding is 4 days away. AD is super happy. Clay is feeling good, and he feels that he's getting stronger with AD. Mm-hmm. She tells him, if you rock with me, I'm going to take you to the moon.
Anything you thought about that date?
I still don't like that. Like that he's really relying on her to make him a better man.
Oh, because...
that is like I just really don't like that. Like, how are you having a woman teach you how to be a man? Or how to be a husband?
Listen here.
It's just it just grosses me out so bad.
I'm going to put it on her because when I fail, I'm going to be like, because AD didn't teach me. She wasn't my rock. I just have something small to say about AD. I noticed it this episode, but she does it every episode. I hate when she squeals.
Oh, okay.
Whenever she sees Clay or whenever she just like, that squeal, that happy squeal, it's irritating. Yeah. But that's just preference.
Okay. Amy and Johnny, they are out on a cabin trip. Yeah. They're both happy with each other.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for the notes, Blair. Uh-huh.
Chelsea and Jimmy, they go to an amusement park. Mm-hmm. They are riding roller coasters, playing games, and they end up having dinner. Chelsea feels good about them being together. Jimmy feels good as well and feels that she is his person. He asks her, are we going to get married? Because he really doesn't know what her answer will be. Mm-hmm. And we are left on a cliffhanger.
Why will you even put yourself under her like power like that, James? You see how you say you can't trust her, she hurt your feelings, she crossed your boundaries, you feel betrayed, but to put yourself under her thumb of are you gonna say yes to the marriage? She's gonna say no. Chelsea is not gonna say yes. She's gonna say no because that's the type of person she is. It just is what it is. Yeah. Anything you thought about this episode? Anything you're looking forward to the next episode? Who do you think is going to get married?
I think Amy and Johnny are going to get married.
Yeah.
And that is all.
Wow.
What about you?
I'm kind of forgetting the couples.
Clay and AD.
Is there only 3 couples?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Jimmy and Chelsea.
I think Jimmy's going to say yes, and she's going to say no at the altar because that's the type of person she is. Okay. And then she's going to try to use, quote unquote, like, I'm sorry, I don't know, I love you, you're my person, because that's the same thing.
Yeah, I need more time.
And that's the same thing she told Trevor about, that's my person, but you didn't say yes to him. Crazy. You was my number one until the last day. Crazy, but you didn't choose him. But I think that's how Chelsea is. I think Jimmy go there with the intention to say yes. She's going to say no to make him look foolish, because with Chelsea, she beat Jessica to get you. There's no competition to have Jimmy now. Jimmy's like, I only like you. And Chelsea's like, yeah, I don't like that. Yeah. Because when Trevor only liked her, she didn't choose him. Right. Come on now, I'm preaching now. You sound pretty quiet for me to be preaching. Come on. Well, okay, church. I'm just gonna keep going. I think. Ooh, who's gonna say yes between Clay and AD? Who's gonna say no?
I think they're both gonna say no.
That's gonna be strange and arranged, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're both just gonna be like, we're not ready.
I think they're gonna say no, thinking they're gonna outsmart the process, going like, we saying no today because we want to date more and blah blah blah. Even though AD says like, I came in with the intention to get married and things like that. I don't really trust her her judgment. But she could be like, that doesn't mean no forever. I don't know. AD is hard to read because, to your point, I feel like she likes Clay, but I don't know if she loves Clay.
Right. I think she could be with or without him. I think she'd be fine either way.
But what would be the reason of not being with Clay? Because I don't think she don't like him based on what he says.
I don't know. It's hard for me to read because I think she
it's
does.
It's kind of like a feeling.
Because I think she's listening to what he's saying, and I think that is turning her off. But I think she wants to stay on the show.
Oh, okay.
That's what I really think it is. And I think towards the end, when she really has to make that decision for marriage, I think she's going to be like, no, he ain't ready. He told me he ain't ready.
And what would be Clay's reason of saying no?
He's not ready.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Listen here. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, share, all the above. We will be back next week, I think, for the finale.
March 6th.
March 6th. So that is next week.
Yep.
Listen here. Make sure y'all join us. Subscribe. We'll see you then.
Bye.